wasn't caused by Robyn. It was caused by the fallout of going public. And that decision was made by our family before we met Robyn. I made the mistake of not managing my family properly, and Christine has left. And Janelle has decided, because we're not in the greatest place, that she'd rather hang out with Christine. We're not working like a family. We're not a family. We're acting like enemies.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesday, August 29th, 2023. Kody Brown, Robyn Brown, and the Brown side, his kids that he has with Robyn, they're at war basically with the rest of the family. And a lot of it has to do, obviously, with how the family has erupted and exploded. But another factor going on here with their division has to do with Kody and Robyn's faith and their desire to remain in their faith and keep the kids protected from the influence of the outside evil influences. Kody and Robyn are desperate to reframe and reshape their image, get back in good standing with their church, and find new sister wives. Now, I did a video on this last week, but I want to dive into it a little bit more detailed because guess what? Someone from the AUB reached out to me and gave me some more tea about what's going down in the AUB and some secret meetings that Kody and Robyn have been having with the brethren at the AUB because they want back in. So let's dive into today's topic. Before we do, can you please do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed by clicking on the subscribe button down below. Click on the bell so you can get notified of any time I go live or new content loads. And if you have something that you'd like to say, make sure to say it in the comments. And please share this video with your friends. This week on Sister Wives, we saw how there's been a family divide and Kody and Robyn are very much on the outside of the other family. Now, for a lot of people that are not familiar with this culture and this world, some people will see this and view this as just two families going separate because of a split. But a source that I've spoken to says this is less to do with just being a split about the families and a lot to do with a split over faith and standards and conservative versus progressive. And Kody and Robyn hoping to get back into church with the Apostolic United Brethren, attain new wives, and prepare their daughters for polygamy. So there was some concerning behavior by Kody with his daughter Aurora on this previous episode where people felt like he's been grooming her or he seems unnaturally attracted to his daughter, adopted daughter Aurora. My source says that Kody and Robyn have been meeting with brethren in the Apostolic United Brethren, and they're apparently in talks to returning to the church, but there is some serious hesitation by the church to allow them back in. One, because Kody is still on Sister Wives. Two, they do not agree with some of the standards that Kody and Robyn have. And three, they don't like that Kody is so public. Despite some of those reservations, Kody and Robyn want to get back into the church because one, this is a faith that is something that Robyn deeply believes in. And I believe she wants to have her daughters in this faith, and they want to be surrounded by other people within this faith. And Kody apparently wants to take on new wives. Kody's interest in new wives isn't necessarily his own interest, but rather that Robyn does not want to be a monogamous wife. She never joined the family to be a monogamous wife, despite the fact that on the surface, she appears to have done just about everything she can to divide the family and blow it up. Despite all of that, she doesn't want to be a monogamous wife. I would say, my source says, Robyn more wanted to be the head wife, and she didn't want to be the only wife. And a lot of head wives act just like Robyn, demolishing, destroying, and alienating. And then a lot of wives that are not on the head wife position are treated exactly like Janelle and Christine and Mary, and they just stay there because they have no other options. Mary, Janelle, and Christine had options because they left the culture, they went outside of the church, they got exposed to the real world, which effectively helped them leave. Robyn has been a lot more insular and a lot more dedicated to staying within her faith, and that's a primary reason why she's so controlling of her kids, because she doesn't want them to be influenced by the outside and change the standards that she has set for them. as well as there is discussions that because Robyn would like more wives, Kody could then prepare his daughters to be wives to someone else within this church. Curls in this church are extremely valuable, and the younger the better, and the more virtuous and pure the better. So on Pinterest, Brianna has been posting about becoming a submissive wife and having babies, which is strange because she's apparently not in a relationship and not married. That's neither here nor there. My source said that if Kody wanted to go back in, there's a few things that would be extremely valuable to the church. One is his money, and two are his daughters. This church is hemorrhaging members left and right. And it's as more and more people are getting access to the outside world, more and more stories are coming out about what's been going on within this culture, more and more details about the truth of the church, the truth of the brethren, the truth of the people involved. People are leaving in droves. They don't want the control. They don't want people dictating their lives. They just do not want it at all. And so they're desperate to bring back people in. The AUB has had a ton of controversy. They've had a lot of shakeups with their last prophet, Lynn Thompson, was accused by a lot of people of essaying them. And so a lot of people ended up leaving the church. The new prophet, Dave Watson, is a beast and a brute, but his goal right now is to try to bridge the gap and bring people back that might have left under Lynn Thompson's leadership. Browns left when Lynn Thompson basically came into power, but it didn't have anything to do with them. It had a lot more to do with the fact that they had moved. But now that the rest of the wives are gone and there's no other outside influences and conflicts of interest, Robyn is apparently very interested in getting back into the church and getting her kids back into the church away from the evil influences of her siblings that are not in the church anymore. So one of the things that some of the things that my source said that Robyn and Kody have been doing that are different, that have really caused a lot of friction in the family, is that they've walked back and are no longer accepting of the LGBTQ siblings that are in the family. So Kody and Robyn have both been not supportive whatsoever of Leon's transition. They have apparently made some seriously disparaging marks. Kody has allegedly told friends that he finds the transition disgusting. He doesn't understand who this person is. It's not the daughter he raised, he says. He doesn't believe it's real. There's also been extremely disparaging comments made, my source says, by Robyn and Brianna and Aurora to both Leon and Mary about Leon's transition. They're not accepting of it. They're totally rejecting. And on top of that, they want nothing to do with Leon and with Audrey. So on top of that, Kody and Robyn also do not want anything to do with Gwendolyn, and they have deemed Gwendolyn and her wife Beatrice as unsafe. And the children are not allowed to be around Beatrice or Gwendolyn because my source says Robyn refers to them as evil influences. The AUB is completely and staunchly anti-LGBTQ+. They're also white supremacists. So they're anti anything that's non-white because they believe that people of color have the mark of Satan. They are cursed, and they believe that only the pure white people can save this world. It's a long-held belief within the Mormon faith that the AUB adheres to still today. So these very conservative beliefs are being reinstilled in the family, and they're going to have to change some of their standards, my source said. So the cursing that Kody does, the explosive behavior on the show, the way that he dresses, the way that Robyn dresses, and the fact that they're not involved in church. So there's been some discussion, apparently, my source says, that Kody would potentially try to start his own branch of the church in Arizona and have them move to his compound on Coyote Pass. Though at this point, my source says Kody just does not have enough followers of his own. Kody actually has his sights set on trying to become a leader within the church. And my source said that Kody actually married Christine because he believed he could one day become the prophet by marrying the former prophet's granddaughter. Only a demigod like Kody would think this. He probably has a revelation that he is the God and the next prophet of the AUB. So now that Kody and Robyn are fully rejecting their LGBTQ kids, they have created even more deeper divisions in the family, and it's really isolated them. And they've also deemed those that are not following the church or the church belief system as evil and as they're not safe for their kids. So Robyn and Kody's control of the kids isn't just about this blended family, but it has a lot to do with trying to keep them in the fold of the faith so they don't leave and go to the outside world, not influenced by the outside world, and so that they could potentially go back into the church. Kody could get new wives and trade his daughter for a new wife. It's super gross. So the grooming that's been taking place is not so much that Kody would want to marry Aurora or Brianna, but rather Kody would and Robyn would potentially be looking to swap and get a new wife by having their daughters go to some man and them getting a daughter, a sister, whatever from that guy. It's all just deeply disturbing. This idea that Kody is saying publicly that he doesn't want any new wives, my source says, is completely false. The division in the family isn't just about, like I said, the fact that Kody and Robyn are just narcissists and have blown up the family, but it also has to do with faith and them not being obedient to the faith. And in order for Kody to get back into the church, he would have to tithe regularly. My source said he would have to go and start going back to services regularly. I asked if they thought he might move back to Utah, and they didn't know. That's where the discussion about potentially starting his own branch in Arizona could work, but they really don't think he has enough followers for that, like I said. And they would have to institute the standard bearer, which are the standards that literally all the followers must be a part of, which includes limiting their social media, limiting the kind of television they watch, limiting the kind of music they watch, and changing the clothing that they're wearing, and have the clothing they wear be ready to wear garments. And the garments go in their church all the way down to their wrists, up to their necks, and down to their feet. So these are not the modified garments that the mainstream LDS churches, they use the old school, old garments. And so this is why you rarely see Kody ever wearing shorts, even though it's like extremely hot out. This is why when he's wearing a shirt, a short sleeve, it would only go to like his, at least to his elbow. And women are only supposed to wear 3/4 length shirts. Now, they've loosened some of these standards, and so they might have to consider going back to that. And women in the cult now are told that they have to wear dresses and skirts almost all the time. I don't know if that's something that Robyn would be willing to go to, but if Kody wants to get new wives, going back to the cult is possible. Kody and Robyn have stopped posting on social media as frequently, so I think that's a good indication that they are trying to get back in good standing with the church. Their about face on the LGBTQ plus is also another sign. Trying to control the daughters so that they don't leave is another sign, and their meetings with the brethren. Now, they are desperate for money. Kody has money. Will they take him back if he's on the show? That I don't know. There's a lot of damage control that needs to be done. And I don't know if Kody is at this point wanting to get back to his faith and stay on the show, or just go back and dive into his faith and be just polygamous off the show. He can't support his lifestyle as is right now because he doesn't have enough income without the show. And I don't know about Kody being able to go back to the church while still on the show, along with the fact of him taking new wives. One of the agreements for years between the Browns and the Apostolic United Brethren is that they would never mention the church's name because they don't want to be outed publicly. And even though Kody is out there publicly saying, I don't want more wives, my source said that's false, and that Robyn will not stay with him unless he finds new wives. So that's the tea. The most concerning to me is that the daughters are really being groomed and set up for other men so that they can go into families that are potentially polygamous, and really brainwashing them to believe that they must be obedient, subservient, and obey the man. Kody does not want any other wives that are independent. He wants to be the head of the house, and the daughters are being demanded to obey or leave. And so as they're being groomed and prepared for the potential of plural marriage, their prospects in the real world are dwindling, which is really sad to the source that I spoke to, because it's not a healthy or a happy life for the women involved. So Kody and Robyn are being really awful to the children that are LGBTQ plus. They are deeming them evil influences, even though I would say polygamy controlling women, being an abusive father, being an abusive husband, corporal punishment. I would say those things are all evil, but nope, it's not them that are evil. It's Gwendolyn that's evil. It's Leon that's evil. And Robyn doesn't want anything to do with any of the family members that are not devout in the faith at this point, other than like McKelty, who I think toes the line. And recently on a Patreon, McKelty said that Robyn is still very devout in her faith. So I think what my source is telling me is true. So that's what I have. That's the tea. It's kind of disturbing. Kody definitely wants new wives. It will definitely help him keep the show, but I don't know how it's going to work because I know one of the brethren in this situation does not like them being on the show. The show is a huge problem for them. I don't know, but they're also desperate for money. Could there be a secret handshake deal where we'll let you back in, just don't say anything kind of thing? Possibly. Will Kody take on new wives in the future? Most likely if he wants to stay with Robyn. And will the daughters be shipped off and traded for wives for Kody or given to another family for polygamous husbands? Possibly. And it's looking like very, very possibly and sad. So do you think this will save the show? Do you think the church will let them back in? And are they as evil as I think for the way that they've treated their children? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.